Good morning. Today we are very happy to have our friend Renato Soares presenting a special lecture. Before I bring Renato, let me introduce for you that don't know him. Renato was born in Jundiaí, São Paulo. He has a bachelor in manufacturing engineering. He works as a supervisor in a construction company. He moved to the US in 2006. He has been at SGNY since 2010, and he had his first contact with Spiritism at age 10. He has been working in our mediumship meeting for the past 3-4 years, I believe. First as a counselor, and now as a medium. And his very deep studies of the team mediumship. So I'm sure he's going to give us a wonderful presentation. And with that, I pass to you, Renato. Have a wonderful work.
Thanks, João. Thanks, João and Jussara and Elmo for the opportunity and for the trust, right, to be here with all of you to talk with you a little bit about Spiritism. Also, thank you all of you for being here, because I know it's a holiday tomorrow, right? So most people will be traveling, enjoying themselves, and you decide to be here. So I thank you for the commitment and the effort to being here. I also want to thank the workers at SGNY, because without them, we'll not be here, because the subject that we are going to discuss today, the mediumship meeting, is a group effort. So there's no mediumship meeting with only one person. There's a group of people that work there. They work very hard in order to do the kind of work we do. So I'll thanks them for that. Also thanks my wife that just got in. If I don't thank the wife, you know what's going to happen afterwards. Thanks for her support to allow me to go to the Spirit Center, to stay with our daughter and supporting me so I can develop and try to get a better person, right? And the goal here today is to add to the wonderful lectures and studies that have been done in this subject. So we are trying here to do a little bit and try to maybe clarify some things, maybe try to add a little things that you might not know. This is a subject that I've been studying throughout the year, especially here in the SGNY. But we're trying to bring maybe a little bit more of my perspective on that. And tried also to demystify a couple things, some ideas that people might have about the mediumship meeting that is not, and also everything that is involved there. So it's gonna be a little bit of a talk. I don't like to co-lecture because I'm not in position to lecture no one. But hopefully towards the end, you're satisfied with what you see, and then we can learn from each other. So I'm gonna go to share my screen here. Just give me a second. Okay. Here and share screen. Okay. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm gonna just take this so I can read the slides as well. So mediumship meeting. This is an overall of everything that's happening. I like to call through the lens of a medium because different people have talked about this subject. So I'll be, the only difference that you see that sometimes I will bring my experience on it. But again, it's not much different of what we've been studying. And that's the way we learn, through repetition. So we need to be studying the same subject over and over and over again until we can grasp. and understand everything that's happening. So let's see here. Okay. So mediumship, when you talk about mediumship meaning, we need to talk about the mediumship first. And I'm trying to give an overall of everything because some people, they might not be at the same page. So I'm gonna bring the subject to a level where everybody can understand. So if you see a couple of things here, just bear with me. The mediumship is something that is not exclusive to spiritism. Mediumship as a faculty that is for the humankind. So you can see mediumship pretty much everywhere. The difference is that the mediumship is practiced in different ways. In spiritism, we approach and we tell people that it was taught to us the mediumship is in two different ways, with Jesus Christ and without Jesus Christ. So mediumship without Jesus Christ pretty much would be the ones that are more focused on material things, are focused on trying to get better your life here in a sense of maybe financial goals, sometimes not to goals that will elevate your moral conduct. Maybe you are curious about something, you want to know if you're gonna get married, the lottery numbers, things that we understand that is not that useful for us right now. We are not here to try to judge no one. It's just a comparison for you to understand the way we work. And the mediumship with Jesus Christ, it prevails the moral aspect of Jesus' teachings. It's pretty much we focus on trying to elevate humankind throughout everything that Jesus taught us. So evidently there is no financial gain on that. Everything that we gain is to better ourselves. So we focus more on something to help people in charity and things that in that nature. The mediumship meaning, especially in the beginning, might be intimidating, but fear not, you're not alone. So this is a work of love. And for those of us that are studying mediumship seriously, in a way that you want to develop and grow in mediumship, the mediumship meaning is a natural path. Some people might think in the beginning, oh, I'm not a medium. Why should I care about the mediumship meaning? What I'm supposed to do in the mediumship meaning? The mediumship meaning is not just about mediumship per se. Mediumship meaning is a great opportunity for you to know yourself, to get a sense of everything that's happening, and to relate with things that sometimes just reading the books or maybe reading the things that are happening in your life is hard for you to relate. And also it's a great opportunity for you to see for yourself how things work, because we see a lot of this mentioned in the books, and it's good to know as well how the mediumship works. And if you look through all the books and everything they've done, the mediumship meaning is essential for the continuation of the spiritism. So the books that we have today, the books were done in the past, they were psychographic in mediumship meanings. So all the works that will be remaining, the works that will be done in the future, will be through a mediumship meaning. So this is a great opportunity for us to get to know more about spiritism and also to develop ourselves in spiritism. So to talk about mediumship meaning, we have to go back to the beginning. You might know this person. His name is Hippolyte Léon Denisard Rivaillot. Pardon my French, it's not that great. I don't know if I pronounce it right, but I'm making the effort. Better known, later known as Allan Kardec. So Allan Kardec was a professor, was a very respected person in Europe at that time. Was around the year 1854, if I'm not mistaken. And Kardec was a study of magnetism. And at that time in Europe, there was a movement that was happening about turning tables. People were very excited about what's happening. They wanted to see what the turning tables was all about. They used to gather in theaters, like, Circo du Soleil kind of thing, and they would watch the table, the reps and everything turning and answering questions, all this kind of stuff. And Kardec was invited by a friend to go in one of those sessions, one of those meetings, and he was curious about how the table could move, how the table could, answer questions and do all the things that were happening at that time. And he wanted to see if there was any relationship between what the table was doing and magnetism. And after a while, he realized there was something more than just magnetism happening there. Because he saw that sometimes when people ask questions, most of the time it was frivolous questions that would not add nothing, value. The answers would be in the same way. But sometimes people ask intelligent questions that they would have intelligent answers. And he realized, oh, there's something here. There's something more than just magnetism. So he became interested in to understand better what was happening, what was that phenomena. So he gathered a group of people that were able to communicate with the spirits. At that time, the word medium did not exist. Mediumship meeting, as we know today, did not exist. So in this work, he began to ask questions to the spirits through the mediums and study everything and evaluate and put it together, this whole work in order to understand better the relationship between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. So the fruit of that work was what we know today, the books of decodification. First, we have the Spirit's book that brings the principles of the Spiritist doctrine. Also, the Medium's book is an exchange with the world of spirits. The Gospel according to Spiritists bring the Christian morals, heaven and hell, philosophy and justice, and Genesis themes related to science. So all these books and the books that we have nowadays, they were due to the work that was done by Kardec in the beginning to codify all the questions, all the themes, all the subjects. So the basis of the Spiritism that how we know today is due to that work. So today you can study a variety of subjects in Spiritism, even how the world was formed, the molecules, atoms, spiritual world, your life, influence, energies, everything. So Spiritism can get a hold of everything due to the work that was done by Kardec in a mediumship meeting. And all these tools that we have today are the tools necessary for us as a spiritist to understand, to grow, and to better ourselves, and also for the people that, evidently the people that work in a mediumship meeting, to help them to perform their work while doing their job. So how do we end up in a mediumship meeting? There's different ways how we can end up there, but the two most common that I found is usually a person is a spiritualist or might be curious about it. Maybe saw the movie Ghost. He wants to know if everything that happened in the movie is really true. But anyhow, he tried to figure out, have their questions answered, ended up in a spirit center and start to ask questions, talk to someone, and they refer them to some books, start reading books, and then go to the meetings and become a regular person participating in the activities. The other way is usually when you are struggling in your life, might be physically or spiritually, but you don't know that as a spiritual struggle. And you might do your research and give it a shot to go into the spirit center, or someone that know a spirit center might refer that to you. I think you should go there, that might be useful for you. Then you go to the spirit center. And then usually when you talk to someone, they will evaluate your condition, what's happening in your life. You go to a series of treatment that we know today will be the passes. And most of the times you get better. Some people, they stay. Some people, they get what they need and then leave. And once you stay, you go to the process also to reading the books, go to studies, and become a regular person, more activities in the Spirit Center. And you become curious about that little group that always stay behind, that meaning that you heard about it, talking about the mediumship meaning, and then you ask for it. You're curious, you want to ask for someone that is in a mediumship meaning, the possibility for you to join or to be a part of it. Or sometimes you have some sort of mediumship or something that you feel like you need to develop, and then you talk to someone and you are invited to a mediumship meeting. But in any way, you ended up there is usually through a path where you are studying, where you are developing yourself, and then you get this invitation. So like João was saying, you invite yourself to the mediumship meeting. It's not the mediumship meeting they invite you. So a medium, who is a medium? Every individual who senses the influence of spirits to any degree of intensity is a medium. So again, the mediumship is a faculty of humankind. It's not exclusive of spiritism. You will find mediums in different religions, in different places, different backgrounds. It's not something that you might find with a different name. But as we describe all the sensations, everything that happens, we describe as a medium. It's interesting that I just heard this morning, I was watching a video from Raul Teixeira, how Kardec came up with the word, because back in the day, they used to call the witches, they call a prophet, they have different words for the people that used to communicate with the spirits. And so Kardec, pretty much, he understood that the medium is the person that is in between, is in the middle of the spiritual realm and the physical realm. So he's right in the middle, then comes the word medium. And then the mediumship meeting is, there are different types of mediumship meetings, but in general terms, they are intended for the exchange between the incarnate and discarnate spirits. So the mediumship meeting is a private activity. It's not a secret. And it's private because we respect everything that's happening there. In our case, in SGNY, we work on the assistance of needy spirits. And the people that are there, they have a purpose. It's not just to be there out of curiosity. Everyone that is in there, again, went through a process of studying and dedicating themselves, so they understand the importance of to be in the mediumship meeting. Like the example that I really like is like a surgery room, right? You're not going to invite just about anyone to be there. So you have the surgeon, you have the anesthetician, you have the nurses, the doctors, everyone that is in there has a purpose. It's not there just for the sake of watching something. So this is the mediumship meaning. The general structure of each side is composed in two sides, the spiritual side and the physical side. The majority of the work is done on the spiritual side. I would say 99%. We collaborate with a little bit, but the majority of the work is done in the spiritual side. You have, and this can change from meeting to meeting. It depends what kind of mediumship meeting you're doing. If you're doing, for example, a mediumship meeting that is more for, that was done in the past, there's materialization, you might not need all of this, but generally speaking, nowadays, this is how the structure works. On the spiritual side, you have the benefactors, that evidently there is a leader, the doctors, the workers. Every spirit is assigned to do something. Some spirits will work with the mediums, others will work with the spirits, taking care of them. Some spirits will work protecting the environment and prayer. So there's work for everyone. The spirits in need of help and clarification, they are there. Those are the ones that will be receiving all the assistance on both sides. Companions of the incarnates, usually spirits associated with the people that are doing the work here. Opponent spirits, evidently. We are there also to work some issues. So they are there in order to try to harmonize things with them, us and them. And the regulars, there are people that are not exactly associated with the mediumship in a sense of they are there all the time, but they are there for learning purpose. A good example of that is André Luiz, right? If you read the books of André Luiz, a couple times he and his mentors would go to a spirit center in order to understand how things works on the spiritual side and also on the physical side, how the mediums work, the influence of the energies. So in the books of André, he was one of those spirits, the regular spirits that would attend the mediumship meeting in order to learn, to get the information, and to help, right, in any way they can. Once they are there, sometimes they would help and assist in any way they can. So those spirits also participate in the meeting. And then the physical side is pretty much the same. You have the director, the counselor, the ostensive mediums, the support, and the visitors. So again, this might change from meeting to meeting, but this is the general structure of a meeting. Magnetic and spiritual protection. This is something that is interesting, because I heard throughout the years some people, they are not afraid, they are skeptical of participating in a mediumship meeting because they think that their spirit's gonna follow them home. They're not gonna be able to get rid of them. They're gonna hear their thoughts and things like that. And it's understandable, but in the beginning, we mentioned that this is a mediumship meeting with Jesus, right? So that right there tells us all the protection that we need. So Jesus Christ will always help us and protect us so we are able to do our work. So this is just a graph, again, might change, but just to give you an idea how the protection it works when you have a mediumship meeting. You have here on zone 1, there is a building barrier. So it's the protection against the troublemaker spirits. So spirits, they are there, not necessarily evil spirits, but sometimes a spirit that will just want to play. They want to, make fun of people. They have nothing to do with the meeting. They're not going to bring anything that will add to the meeting. So there is this protection to make them, stay away, because we're doing important work here. You have in zone 2, the surveillance barrier and control of the entities outside of the zone 1. So here pretty much is the what I call waiting room. So here where the spirits that are going to be assistant, the spirits that will be participating on the mediumship meeting, they stay there. So while there, they are receiving passes, they are receiving all the energies. There are some spirits, they need to be calmed down because it's their first experience in a place like this. So they stay there while they're not their time to be assisted. Because you see, in a mediumship meeting, a medium can give different communications, 1, 2, 3, depends on the time, the amount of communications. So it's one at a time. So while the spirit needs to wait his turn, that's where the place where they stays with the other protector spirits. And then zone 3, magnetic barrier for isolation and protection of meeting participants and entities admitted to the communication. So here's pretty much when the spirit is ready for the communication. Here's where happen the connection between the spirit and the medium. And also, evidently, there has to be a protection so nothing is disturbed. No spirits that in the waiting room will be, interfering or anything. So the spirit can really benefit of everything that will be provided for him or for her. Okay. Yeah. Your role. In a mediumship group, there is work of several different kinds, such as healing, assistance, disobsession, and a good capacity for fervent prayer to sustain the work of the mediums, counseling, directing, etc. Each of these activities having equal importance within the team. So this is very important because we work as a team, we work as a family. So each role is important. There's no role more important than the other. There's no such a thing that you make someone has more value than the other. Sometimes there's this concept, people might see the medium as different because the medium has this direct, let's put it that way, relationship with the spirit, but they are all equal, they are all important. As I told in the beginning, nothing will be possible without everyone. So, and it's important the members, and it is important to us to understand that even though we have different roles, we need to work together. People in the mediumship meeting, they really take seriously the relationship between them, because if we are not in the same page, if we have some sort of a disconnection with each other, it's going to make difficult to everyone to do their test, to do your job during the meeting. Wow, sorry about that. Somebody's trying to contact me here. The director. I had the opportunity to working to assist, let's put better, in all but the director, and was very great for me to have this knowledge to passing all through the tasks. But I will be commenting on all those. The director is the one responsible on the terrestrial plane for the meeting, presides over the work, directing its entire course, coordinates efforts. It does not impose conditions to organize the meeting. So usually in the mediumship meeting, when it starts, the director will organize and assign everyone. This doesn't change much because usually people already know what they're doing, what they're going to do. But sometimes the size of the group might change. You might have like a bigger group or a smaller group. And then sometimes we have, at least in our sense, sometimes we have to split so we can accommodate everyone. So the director is the one that will make sure that everything can work in a harmonious way. He's also the one that will try to harmonize in a way that makes sure that everyone is comfortable. He will do the prayer, try to bring everyone with the same thoughts. And also, he is the one that makes sure that, for example, the counselor, the mediums, everyone understand the work that's going to be done that day. He assists the counselor sometimes when the counselor needs, for example, needs some tips, some sort of things that is happening there, maybe a difficult communication. He is the one also that assists the counselor. Sometimes it's not common, but it happens to have simultaneous communication. So two mediums need the system at the same time. He is the one that will direct people in order to assist both at the same time. So he's the one that will take care of everything so everybody can do their jobs comfortably in a harmonious way. Then you have the counselor. They are the supervisors of nursing or assistance to suffering spirits under the guidance and inspiration of spiritual benefactors. Must have a good spiritist formation that will help with the moral authority necessary for the success of the work. Counselors are the ones that are going to be talking with the spirits. This is the job where the counselor needs to be a good listener. His mental attitude is of no judgment at all. He's trying to make the spirit feel comfortable, if you will. Try to make the spirit open as much as they can, so he can be able to assist in any way he can. You never know what kind of spirit is going to be communicating through the medium. Might be someone that does not believe in religion, someone that does not believe in the life after death. Might be some sort of people that will challenge you. Maybe it's a child. You never know. And the counselor is the one that never takes nothing personally, to the personal side, let's put it that way, and needs to understand that more than everything, he needs to treat with love, a lot of love. The counselor is there to try to console. We are not there to teach no one. We're not preaching. We're not trying to convince no one, because it's very hard for us in that the counselor and that communication, and so little time trying to make some change. So the job is to try to make the spirit trust, so the spirit, in the spiritual side, he can receive all the assistance it needs in order to get there. The ostensive meetings. Those are the ones whom the faculty is well characterized and translates into obvious effects of a certain intensity. So that's the difference between when we say that everybody's a medium and the ostensive meetings. These ostensive meetings, they will be able to really establish this communication and deliver the message that comes from the spiritual realm. They will work with the counselors, trying to provide as much as information they can in order to assist. Usually in a mediumship meeting, the ones that we have at our center, we have two types of communication. We have the psychophony and we have the psychography. The psychophony, pretty much both mediums need to be in a state of trance, state of concentration, and they will allow the spirit to communicate. The medium will deliver all the emotions, everything that they want to say. Sometimes even when the words that the spirit is not talking, let's put it away, their thoughts, let's put it better. The medium will see images, the medium will see the surrounding things that he's able to put into words, so the counselor can better help the spirit. Sometimes even the counselor, he might be able to see, not in a position to be a medium, but sometimes the counselor also see what's happening, so it makes the help a little bit easier. And even the other mediums, when they are not giving communication, they are able to see what's happening and also give some tips to the counselor to help to the communicating spirit to be helped. So it's a group effort. It's everybody is working in order to provide the better assistance to the spirit that's in their need. The support, every thought is a wave of creative force, and the thoughts of peace and fraternity emitted by the group will constitute an adequate climate of beneficial radiations, providing the spiritual friends present with the necessary resource for the formation of various aids. So the support is very, very, very important. Why I'm emphasizing that? Because they will give pretty much prayers, energies to everyone. They are the ones that I call, they are the ones that hold the fort. Yeah, I remember when I used to work on this position, and it's very hard, because imagine the amount of focus and concentration you have to have. So you see, you have the mediums, they are interacting with the spirits. You have the counselors and the director, they are talking to the spirits. So there's this interaction. But the support, people that work in support, they need to be concentrated all the time. I'm sure here throughout this lecture, some people, they already think what they're going to do for lunch, what they're going to do tomorrow on a holiday, the game later on. So there are a lot of things that happen. So it's very difficult for us to focus throughout the meeting. And the support people, they throughout the years with experience, they develop that. And also when the meeting, sometimes we have difficult communications where it drains the energy of the meeting, the meeting for a while. And they need also, besides the prayers, they need to provide the magnetic energy through the passes. So the support is very important to hold everything together in the mediumship meeting. And the visitors, sorry, occasional and restrictive presence must have a usual purpose that justify the presence at the meeting and must be analyzed in advance. The visitor should be welcomed in small numbers to prevent the vibrating climate from suffering untimely change. So that's how you, your first contact on a mediumship meeting. After you went to a process, you receive your invitation, and you go to as a visitor to watch the mediumship meeting. Usually the meeting is, we form a circle and the visitor stays a little on the side. He does not participate inside the circle. We ask them to not engage. If they have some sort of a mediumship, we ask them not to engage in nothing, just an observer. And usually we do that for 3 sessions. And so the person can, see how the group works, the people that are working there, how we conduct our meeting. And after that, the person has the opportunity to say if they want, if it's something that he wants to pursue, to continue to attend, or maybe he or she changed his mind and listen, this is not something, I thought it was one thing, is it the other thing? So that's how the visitors are able to get to be a part of the mediumship or not. Okay. Balance. Everything that we're going to discuss here is our part. We studied in the previous slides that the mentors and the spirits on the spiritual side, they do a lot of work to make sure that we have the proper environment, we have the proper energies, everybody and everything safe. So this is us preparing ourselves in order to provide the better assistance to our brothers and sisters, and also for us, right? Because when we are in the mediumship meeting, you might think that you are there just to help, but we are receiving a lot of help in order to do our tests and also to the struggles that we go through our lives. So things here, I'm not here trying to tell people what to do. It's not in our position to tell how you have to conduct your life. But when you are studying spiritism, when you see the things that happen on the books and everything else, you pretty much, will ended up with this conclusion that are a couple of things that you might consider to change. For example, here, alcohol and tobacco. Again, not saying that a person that drinks or a person that smokes cannot be a part of the mediumship meeting. However, we need to understand that the mediumship meeting is a work of concentration. It's a work in where you have to have your mind in a place where you can be in tune with the spiritual realm. So if you have alcohol, sometimes tobacco, it's going to be hard for you to do that. And also sometimes the smell that might disturb some people that, for example, people that don't smoke, and sometimes they smell that it disturbs a little bit them. So we need to be considerative with people that are around us. So at least on the day that we are going to perform the mediumship meeting, try to avoid that. Drugs is a no-go. Illness, evidently, if you are sick or if you're not feeling well, it's better to stay home, get better, and then you go when you feel a little bit better. Food, in a sense that if you have a big meal before the mediumship meeting, you're going to be dealing with digestion, with bloating, whatever it is. And then again, it's going to be hard for you to concentrate. Stress, this is complicated because, we have, most of us have a stressed life. There's work, there's family, there's a lot of things going on, but we try as much as we can to have at least on the day of the mediumship meeting, a calm day, try not to confront people, let it go. One thing that helps a lot with this is to arrive earlier. So if you have the opportunity to be in a spirit center at least, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour before, you have time to decompress, to stay there, just to listen to the music, close your eyes, and try to be in a state of meditation. That will help a lot. The media, nowadays, we didn't have that in the past, but nowadays the media, there's a lot of images and things that happen that might create an impression in our minds. You might see a disaster or a mass murder or something that might stuck in your mind, and you're gonna pass throughout the day thinking about that thing. And when you are in the mediumship meeting, again, it's gonna be hard for you to concentrate. And rest, that's pretty much, you need to be rest in order to perform your job. Otherwise, you're gonna be sleeping through the meeting. That's not the kind of concentration meditation we are talking about. So have some rest, so you have the opportunity to perform your job in a good way. Evidently, you are working with a group of people, so everybody's gonna be, you have a different day. So try to be, that's a good time to put into practice the virtues that we learn, to be humble, be proactive, and pray a lot. Pray for you, pray for the group, pray for everyone, so everyone can have a harmonious meeting. So, in the mediumship meeting, what does the book say? Theory and practice, trust your mentors, co-workers, and your intuition. 99% that we study and see in the books, it's exactly what happened in the mediumship meeting. It's not much of a difference. But sometimes you need to adapt to the circumstance. And what I mean by that, you are going to be dealing with people, spirits that you don't know their background. You don't know what they're going through. And sometimes you need to try to do the best you can. Sometimes you're not going to be able to apply 100% what you see in the book. Sometimes you need something else that's your inspiration, your mentors. Sometimes I remember, sometimes as a counselor, I was talking to a spirit. I look at Joan, look at them, like, what do I do now? What should I do? And they would direct me on some difficult communications in order to provide the best. So that's what I'm trying to say here. You need to adapt and try to accommodate everyone. Try to accommodate the medium, try to accommodate the spirit, everyone that is involved, so you can do your job. And we need to understand that the mediumship meetings, like, we are the first responders. We are just there to initiate the treatment. Again, we are not going to be treating them and curing them. Sometimes you will be dealing with people, they are struggling for hundreds of years. So it's not in 5-10 minutes talk that you're going to solve their problems. So again, everything that you're trying to do is to have them to listen to you, so they can trust you. Trust is a strong word, but they allow to receive all the assistance that will be provided for them in the spiritual side. So that's the job that you are trying to do. In the mediumship meeting also is a great opportunity for you to learn everything in a practical way, right? Because again, we see everything that is done in the books, all the content, all the knowledge. But when you are there in a mediumship meeting, you have the opportunity to see for yourself everything that's happened, everything that's mentioned. Like I mentioned in the beginning, Andrea Luis, he would go in a mediumship meeting in order to understand better, to learn better. So that's also something that you can get from the mediumship meeting, to see the struggles that they are going through and relate with their struggles. I remember that, I used to have a struggle. I was struggling with something, and I was avoiding to take action, to do something about it. And after a while, seeing that, spirits that were going to the mediumship meeting, they're going through the same thing. And I realized it was right on my face, but for some reason I couldn't see it. But I realized that if I didn't change my ways, I would be the one when I departed to be in a mediumship meeting, struggling, trying to overcome that. So that's a great opportunity also for you to understand and help you to change your ways in order to better yourself. Faith and patience. I was reading this passage from the Bible that talks about the spiritual life and the work that people are doing with the afterlife. And it says like this, therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. So, this is a work in progress, right? It's a work of persistence and consistency. And we need to be humble and ask for help all the time. I remember when I began in the mediumship meeting, I was one of those people that was struggling with spirituality and everything. And after, studying a lot and going through the treatment with the past and everything, I had the feeling that I had the mediumship. So I was invited to be a part of the mediumship meeting. And in the beginning, it's normal. I was sitting there trying to figure out what to do, trying to get all the theory and put into practice. And I think I was like too much in my head. I was thinking too much. I was afraid. I'm not sure what happened. And didn't happen nothing. I wasn't able to give the communication. I wasn't able to connect. And I understood that, that was me. And the group also understood that. And they helped me a lot. They supported me. So they gave me the opportunity to work on the support. And it was very important to me because in this work in the support, I was able to work on the concentration, to work on the ability of to focus, and gave me the opportunity also to keep my mind steady in order to perform any task I do. Later, I was invited to work as a counselor. It helped me to relate with the spirits, to understand their struggle, to understand that this is a work of assistance. This is a work where we are trying to help do our part to communicate. It helped me with intuition, a lot of things. So it developed myself. It helped me to gain the confidence enough to do whatever, to do any task. And then after that, after a while, my mediumship, not my mediumship, I was ready to work with the mediumship. And then it happened naturally. It happened like very organically. So the communications and everything were pretty much improving every time, evidently studying and working. So I'm very thankful for everyone in the group that support and help. And I have to be very grateful for them. And keep the faith, right? And patient that you're doing your part, you're doing your work, and the help will be always there. You'll always be assist for your co-works and your spiritual mentors. I see my time here. What happens in the mediumship meeting stays in the mediumship meeting. The excessive contemplation of results can harm the work. At times like this, vanity often awakens within us, making us forget the Lord. Do not forget that all good comes from Him, that He is the light of our hearts. We are instruments in the tasks of love. The faithful servant is not the one who is concerned about the results, nor the one who remains in rapture in their contemplation, but precisely the one who fulfills the Lord's divine will and passes on. So They need to understand that it's not us. This is not our work. It's the Lord's work. And why do I say that? Because it's, as you say here, it's very easy for us to be deceived and believe that it's us, or is the counselor, is the medium, or is this and that. And this is not good for us. We might end up in a path that is very hard to come back. There's the protection. There's everything there for you to perform your test. Understand that you are part of something bigger than yourself, and you're just there to contribute a little bit. As Elmo always says, we are there to try not to mess too much their job. And that's pretty much what we are there to do. We don't want it to be engaging in gossip. Again, the mediumship meeting is private, but it's not secret. But you don't want to be things that happen in the mediumship meeting to be a subject of talking, somewhere that does not belong. We need to respect the privacy of the spirits and the people that work in the mediumship meeting. They are very vulnerable. They are sharing their struggles. They are sharing their lives. So you don't want to be the one to be talk about your life somewhere that does not concern them. So that's why we say that what happened there stays in there. Evidently, we discuss, we try to get better, we see ways where we can improve, but everything in a constructive way. Not trying to diminish no one, not trying to talk in a sense that's not going to be positive, is not going to help everyone involved. And going forward, my friends, give thanks to God. I love this passage from the gospel. Give thanks to God who has allowed you to enjoy the light of spiritism, not because those who possess this enlightenment are the only ones who will be saved, but because in helping you to understand Christ's teachings more fully, it makes you better Christians. So make every effort so that when others observe you, they can say that the true Spiritist and the true Christian are one and the same thing. For all who practice charity are Jesus' disciples, whatever the denomination to which they belong. So going forward, we have all these people that came before us. They gave us the example, so we can have a reference in order how we could behave, that we can proceed forward with the studies, dedicating ourselves, try to incorporate everything that we study, everything that we see in our daily lives, in our lifestyle. As João was saying in the beginning, in the prayer, to help us with the courage to put into practice everything that we see. Because if we live a life, one life in the Spirit sent and the other life outside this, what's the point, right? They are one the same, like it says here. And in terms of the mediumship meeting, continue to study. One thing that, at least that's my personal take on it, the best thing you can do for a mediumship meeting is your availability, to be always available, so you can do the work. When you still study in depth the work that's done behind the scene with the spirits for the mediumship meeting, we saw here that on the day they do all this protection, but sometimes this is happening way before, preparing not only the spirits but the mediums in order to be able to do the communication. So they are counting on us, and if we can make a little effort and try to be available, in order to help in any way we can to assist. It's gonna be, we are the ones that will benefit the most, and we can help a little bit more. And then the ultimate goal, this was a gem that was given to me by João. It's funny, right? How you are, when I was putting together this talk, things were working, and João sent this to me, and I find it very interesting. And I told him we need to share this to everyone, because this is the reason why we study. This is why we are doing everything to achieve this level of a mediumship meeting. So what happened here, there was a mediumship meeting in Brazil, and Emmanuel was there working with Chico, and people in the meeting they asked Emmanuel how would be like the mediumship meeting, the ideal mediumship meeting, right, going forward when we are able to apply everything that we learn. So so Emmanuel, very lovely, gave this communication so we can better understand where we are going from now. At the evening meeting of April 28, 1955, it was Emmanuel who mastered the psychophonic faculties of the medium, giving us instructions on the constitution of elements for the success in the tasks of exchange with the spiritual world. The success of the mediumistic meeting as a service body on the earthly plane requires three essential elements: the dialogue or the counselor, the medium, and the assistant. In this set of triple resource, we have command, obedience, and cooperation. The first is the brain that directs, the second is the heart that feels, the third is the arm that helps. Without the security and the thoughtfulness of the brain, we will be irrecoverably thrown into disequilibrium. Without the affection and receptivity of the heart, we will suffer the empire of despair. Without the devotion and decision of the arm, we will suffer from inertia. However, the trio to work efficiently, three requirements are necessary in the action machine in which they express themselves: harmony, trust, and goodwill. Harmony that translates as discipline, order, and respect. Trust that means faith, optimism, and sincerity. Goodwill that expresses study, understanding, and spontaneous service to others. We must not forget that this machine must be based on three different foundations: inner improvement, prayer with vigilance, and duty well done. Once the attunement in this triangle of force has been achieved, the superior spirituality will then be able, through human factors, to undertake the realization of its three great objectives among incarnate humans: the moral elevation of science, the enlightenment of philosophy, the freedom of religion. With dignified science, we will not betray the page of progress in the world. With the noble philosophy, we shall clarify the horizons of the soul. With religion, freed from the shackles that chain the glorious spirits to the darkness of discord and fanaticism, we will be able to extend relief and beneficence, fraternity, and education. My friends, let us gather on the basis we have referred to under the inspiration of Christ, our Master and Lord. And our mediumist meetings will always be a sanctuary of charity and a beacon of light. Much peace to all is the wish of the humble server of always, Emmanuel. So this is the goal. This is why we are studying, we are practicing, we are working hard. So one day, all of our mediumship meetings can be like this. And I find it very interesting because most people, including myself, we have a different way to see the mediumship meeting. And this opened the horizons of how to think about. Sometimes our way to see things is limited to just this or just that. But we're gonna get there, little by little, step by step. Persistence and consistency, faith and patience, will eventually be able to perform at that level. So that's 1 hour. I'm very glad I could do everything in time. So that's what I have for everyone today. Hopefully I could shed some light on a couple of things and clarify, a couple of doubts that you might have. And hopefully, I really hope that you have more questions than answers, because that's the only way. Luis is already raising his hand. That's the only way that we will develop, that we will grow. Once you are curious about something, when you have questions, then you're going to read the books, you're going to apply yourself, and then you're going after what you need in order to grow. So once again, thank you everyone for your patience to stick with me through this hour. And now if you have any question, I think Elmo is here. Elmo can answer all your questions. No, I'm joking.
I shall remain mute.
Okay.
May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good. Congratulations on a very good presentation. You put a lot of effort in there. We can see all the animations in your slide. I'm very curious about your personal experience as a medium in the mediumship meetings of your center. So I ask, in your personal experience as a medium, do you just give communication, or do you also see or hear or smell something during the meetings? What's your personal experience as a medium?
That will depend on the type of work that we're doing on that particular day. So I have psychophony and psychography. I'm beginning to develop the seeing ability, but it's not, it usually happens when I need to, it began to happen when the psychophony, but now sometimes, I've been talking with João and Elmo and Jussara, it's happening also in the psychography, but I never smell nothing. I never smell nothing. And the most of part, the things that I see is particular to help me to understand what the spirit's going through. Sometimes it happens just flashes. Sometimes I can see the whole story, the surroundings, the scenarios, what the spirit went through. Sometimes I just see faces. Again, it will depend on what the communication is going to be like, but usually something useful in order to help the spirit to communicate, and also to help me to understand better in order to give the communication.
I believe Paco wants to ask something.
Go ahead, Paco.
Please, Paco.
Okay. Renato, wow, very, very well presentation. Wow, you broke it down so well. I was able to follow it. Wow, very good, very impressed. Anyway, but I do have questions, of course. Okay, and I got 3 questions, Renato.
Okay.
The first one, okay, I could tell you that the first one, you said that there are different types of mediumship meetings,
Yes.
and the ones that we do are called Christian mediumship meeting. Okay, now can you tell me what are the others?
In the past, I think I mentioned very quickly, there was the materialization meeting. So means that the mediums will get together. We studied here with Elmo in the medium's book and in Spirit's book. They will materialize maybe a flower or maybe something back in the day in order to, in the beginning, for us to understand, to prove the relationship between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. We also have meetings, for example, for study meetings, with the mediumship. On those meetings, the communication are not that complex, are more for the meetings they are beginning, so they can develop themselves. So the communication, the skills that are brought there, they are able to deal with. You have mediumship meetings of sub-session, that when people they are really struggling and they need a particular kind of assistance. So the people that are working on this obsession, this is another level. You have to have a lot of experience in order to be a part of the mediumship of this obsession. And but this is all among when we talk about the mediumship with Jesus Christ in a serious meaning. There is frivolous things that they do, different things there, but we're not talking about that. So pretty much those are the other meanings that we have in mediumship.
Okay, another thing. When you broke down the different roles in a mediumship meeting, you mentioned last visitors, and you said they were occasional and restricted. Only they are asked to, asked to come in and participate for a useful purpose. What would be a useful purpose for a visitor?
As I mentioned, the people that usually will be a visitor are people that they are for a period of time studying, going to the spirits group. They are dedicating themselves. And again, it's a natural path to end up in a mediumship meeting. So what happens is, let's say yourself, you're studying for quite a while, you have all this knowledge, but you decide, you know what, I wanted to see for myself what is in the mediumship meeting. So you're going to talk to João, Elma, Jussara, they're going to discuss the reasons why you wanted to see, if it's going to be a good fit for you and a good fit for the group. And then you have the opportunity to be sitting on the mediumship meeting so you can see for yourself. Because sometimes people think one in a different way than it really is. I think, I'm not sure if you have done that yet, but when you see there, you are able to see the dynamics and everything, and then you can decide if this is something for you.
Yeah, one last question. Thank you so much for your answers. And one last question. You did say that the mediumship meeting is to initiate treatment. Now, my question is, can they do treatment without the participation of incarnated spirits?
Say that one more time.
You said that the whole purpose of a mediumship meeting, as we do it, is to initiate treatment.
Okay.
Okay, now, my question is, can they do treatment in the spiritual world without the participation of us incarnated spirits?
Yes.
Okay.
Because when you see those zones that we show in that graph, some spirits, they are brought to the mediumship meeting, and then not all the spirits that we will receive will give the communication. Some spirits, they are there, they are treated there. That's what I say. There are doctors, there's nurses, there are a lot of systems that is done in the mediumship meeting. It's not just what we see here in the physical level. There's a lot of work that's being done behind the scenes. Sometimes they just need an anemic shot, not even the communication. So the mentors, they don't need like us in order to assist the spirits, the serpents with the needy spirits.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Elmo, if you wanna
maybe complementing Renato, Paco, I think what he means is sometimes we receive a spirit in order to help him, but there's no way we can do that in just 10 minutes. I mean, this is something, we are just the first responders. This will go on and on.
Okay.
Whenever the mentors take them to a triage center or whatever. Anyway, using the presence here, Renato, one more question. It also regarding your participation in meetings as a medium. When you are transmitting a communication, how much control do you have? What do you feel you can do about that particular communication?
Well, that's why we study. And the medium, must is a strong word. The medium should be able to have total control. We allow everything that we'll be communicating, because because it's not like a talking thing. So you have to put into words everything that you're going to transmit to the counselor. So unless you are in conscious medium, it's not my case. I'm a conscious medium, so everything that comes, I know what's happening. It's interesting that I'm gonna share this. I spoke with Jussara a few weeks ago. There's certain types of communication that it's this kind of a control. It varies. Sometimes you kind of sit back and let the spirit talk. You don't have to do much of a thinking. You pretty much know what they're doing. They express their thoughts in a smooth way without us to interfere too much. Sometimes you need to be a filter, because sometimes the things they are saying are not going to be productive to the meeting. So the medium has the ability to control everything. If the medium cannot, he will be helped. That's why we say there is the assistance, there is the protector there, and there's also the co-work there that will help the medium to get a hold of everything. But I never saw something out of control. You might see something more with more passion, with more emotion, something like that, but nothing that's out of control. Thanks. No questions?
No questions? That's it? Okay. So Renato, I really appreciate it. I think it was really, really good presentation. Simple, but you were able to pinpoint the what's absolutely essential on the leadership meetings, what is essential for the success of a group. Of note, in the message of both Emmanuel and Paul of Tarsus in the Gospel, and Emmanuel, the last thing that you read, you did not see the word knowledge.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the intelligence of the heart will take over. Absolutely, knowledge is essential. As your last answer left clear, that if you don't have the knowledge of to acquire self-control or control of the leadership phenomena, it'll be chaotic. It'll be chaos. And that ability to control comes from knowledge, it comes from understanding, because you could learn differently. You could learn in whatever school of leadership you go to, that when the spirit's coming in, you take yourself out and let the spirit do what the spirit wants to do. Let the spirit say whatever the spirit wants to say. Use any kind of words the spirit, that's what you should do. I don't think it would be a very good productive leadership meeting. So education is essential, knowledge is essential, but the application of that knowledge, then it's what the message of Emmanuel, the message of Paul of Tarsus is all about. You have to lower that or upgrade that knowledge from a purely rational thing to the intelligence of the heart, as Christ used to say. And then we will reach the goal, the objective that Jerome presented to you.
Yeah,
and I think we're able to pinpoint in every single aspect that makes a leadership meeting a success. And essentially the ability of do not expect results, do not expect to see the results, but to have that faith that perhaps even blind faith at a time, let it be. Although one that totally dislike this expression, blind faith. But I have absolutely certainty that every time the Spirit come and communicate, that Spirit had gained something that we, the workers, had gained a lot, and there are spirits out there who are listening to that conversation who gain equally a lot. There is someone in the chat there. Laura, go ahead.
No, she's just saying that she needs to leave a little bit early. And,
Okay.
And she thanks for the opportunity. Yeah.
Okay. But I congratulate you. I thank you.
Yeah, this is all you guys. You know that I pick your brains a lot. So this is a result of our conversations, of the experience, the exchange and everything throughout the years. And I thank you for being a mentor and helping guide me throughout all this journey that's far from over. We still have a lot of work to do. And I'm glad to be a part of this group that's have been helping me a lot. Thank you.
Okay, any other comment? Okay, I'll ask Carol to make a final. And have a nice holiday, everyone.
Thank you so very much, Renato, for your comprehensive and inspiring and thorough presentation. Congratulations. Well done. Infinite Creator, we are grateful to be together today for our presentation. We are grateful for the goodness, the grace, the love, and the protection. We know that we are moving forward together with faith, with patience, with knowledge, and of course, our heart. Mediumship Meeting is a work of assistance in progress. And let us continue, all of us, to study, to serve with humility, to be available. And we remind ourselves of the three keys: harmony, trust, and goodwill. May we give thanks to our spiritual benefactors, the good spirits who are with us today, joining together in harmony, all of us, for receiving this presentation and the message about mediumship and the mediumship meeting. Excuse me. We are grateful for what we have received, and that this knowledge that we have now within us to be put in practice during the week, during the year, during our lifetime together. We give thanks that we can continue with these studies, that we can continue with our prayers and with our mindfulness throughout the week, for we are never alone. Assistance is always available as we ask and do our part. May we receive today the love, light, and peace of Christ within us, moving us forward